Hello and welcome along to this new review where I'm going to review Lucio Fulci's House by the Cemetery. Now this has been recently released by Blue Underground on 4K. It's available in the States, and this disc, as all the other ones released by them, is region free, and the bonus disc is region free as well, so you will not need a region free player. You can play this on your normal both discs on your normal 4K player, so you don't have to worry about that. Now, I imported this from America by UHD, and I worked it out. I paid about £28 for it. I don't mind because I've got the slip case, which is embossed. You do get some embossing in here, and obviously Katerina McCall's character there, and also Dr. Freudstein is slightly embossed as well. You do get embossing around the side, which is a nice, on both sides, which is a nice feature. I like that. And you also get a small bit of embossing just around about there, and just little bits that is that embossed? No, it's not. You do get some. I think the Blue Underground is embossed as well, so just a nice little touch to the packaging there. Now this film is, I wouldn't, on reviewing this film and watching this film last night, I was quite amazed by obviously the picture quality. The picture quality is stunning, and I think I got a lot out of it because my previous releases, especially the first time I ever saw it on a sort of crazy bootleg video, was ultra dark. You couldn't see anything. In this film, you can see practically everything, especially in the cellar. You can see a lot of things in there that you probably couldn't see on other releases, maybe not even on the Arrow release, which was released around about 2010. The last time I watched this was in the 2010-2011 Blu-ray by Blue Underground, and it was good. Don't get us wrong, it's probably the best version I'd ever seen of it, but this version here is by far the best. It's probably the best it's ever going to look. I can't imagine this looking any better. It's obviously, it's the blurb on the back says it was scanned in 4K 16-bit from the original 35mm 2 perf camera negative, is now presented with Dolby Vision HDR and new Dolby Atmos sound mix. Fully loaded with hours of extras. Yes, got tons of extras on here. The bonus disc is full of extras. You don't get the Blu-ray version of the film on here, which it doesn't matter to me. But if you were thinking where is it, you would have to look on the previous 2019 version of this film. But I don't know why you would. Anyway, you don't get the soundtrack with this as well, which is a bit of a shame because this for me is one of my favourite soundtracks of a Fulci film, especially the opening credits, sort of Gothic masterpiece. I'm going to say full of arpeggios, which is a type of music that I really like. It's a great soundtrack to this one, probably one of the better Fulci ones. It's up there with the Beyond and Zombie Flesh Eaters. So the film itself is I would say it's a stunning film. For me, it's a stunning film. Now, when I watched when I was watching this, I thought most of the Italian films, especially Fulci, does kind of rip off, in essence, some other film. Obviously, Zombie was ripped off of Dawn of the Dead, or was it a homage? I don't know. There's other things you can think of, you can see, and there's other films that, as you can see, a definite, you know where this film was taken from. Now, I looked at this film and I thought, I don't know what film this could be kind of taken off. It didn't seem to be like any other film that I'd saw. But after this, I watched, there was a making of, there's a little extra on here, was Calling Dr. Freudstein, interview with Stephen Thrower. Now, he likened this film, the Fulci's version of The Shining. Now, when he said that, it kind of made a bit sense to me because there is a young lad in it who has a slight telekinesis power with a previous tenant of this house, owned by Dr. Freudstein, who happened to be his daughter way back when. Now she can sort of communicate him. No one else can see her. She can communicate him through her mind. And also there's a fella in here he's a bit of a struggling writer who moves away to this house that's remote so he can finish off his book. So that's very reminiscent of Jack Torrance in The Shining. And also Katerina McCall's character could be likened a bit to Shelley Duvall's because she is a bit neurotic and quite rightly living in this house. So anyway, so I did get that. Now, when I wish I'd seen that bit before I'd watched the film. I might have watched the film in a different light, but I can see exactly what he was talking about. Now, when I watched this, I did see little bits of the presentation of the 2019 Blu-ray, which was released obviously last year, and people might be wondering whether or not to upgrade. Now, when I saw them pictures, if that's what the Blu-ray quality was like, I would say this is a definite jump up, but quite a good jump up. It was good, don't get us wrong, but there was definitely lacking in the detail wasn't there for me, and also the colours were just not as good, because obviously the colours in this with HDR, you do get that colour. Now, for me, the colour in this was great in two ways, because the bright colours in it, not that there's many of them, but the bright colours in it were really bright. The darkness of the cellar was a good point as well, because you could see every detail in this cellar, which, to be honest, in other versions of this film I haven't really seen before. So that was great. So for two reasons, that's what elevated this film a little bit for me. Now, the two discs here, you get your 4K, and you also get the Blu-ray special features. There is no Blu-ray version on here, which for me isn't really a problem. You do have the choice of Dolby Atmos, which I watched it in. I thought the soundtrack sounded amazing, the best I've ever heard it, and it deserves to be in Dolby Atmos. But if you're not a fan of how many times this is said in the movie, then you might find, although I don't mind the fact, and a lot of people do try and count how many times that's said in the movie, you'll know what I mean when you watch the film, or if you've seen the film. I'll put if I can get the where's the there you go. I'll put this here so we can see exactly what's on the back there, and hopefully if you want to freeze that, you can see what you're getting for your money. And to me, though, personally, I would say that this is an essential buy. I think it's more of an essential buy than most of them, because to me, I feel as if I got a really good uptick on this film. Probably a bit more than most of them, but it's sometimes it's a funny thing. Sometimes if you see the film at the right time of day, obviously I watched this at night, it was pitch black, which was even better. I think this film has to be watched in pitch black, and maybe that did make it a bit more accessible to us. The New York Ripper was good, don't get us wrong, but I do feel that this, for its content, and it's also, it's another one of these, it's the third part of the Gates of Hell trilogy that came out. I don't think it's a trilogy in essence, it's just a trilogy in the fact that these films are very similar. They were made, Stephen Thrower said in his little documentary thing there, that it was literally, these three films were out, the Beyond, Gates of Hell, the Beyond, City of the Living Dead, The Beyond, and House by the Cemetery were all released in 1 year. Can you believe that? That's amazing to get these three classics out in that space of time. So maybe that's why they've been lumped together. They do have sort of similarities in this sort of Gothicness about them, and this sort of, sometimes they don't really make sense, although I found House by the Cemetery made a lot more sense this time round than it has done in the past. But I don't mind the fact that some of the films don't really have a linear story. I can get away with that. I don't mind that at all. I did used to bother us when I first saw them and thought, what on earth is happening here? But I can let that go, because I know that that's the way it was intended. So yes, so final thoughts on House by the Cemetery is, to me, it's a day one purchase. And also, again, if you want to get the slipcover, you might have to act pretty quickly, because these things seem to sell out very quickly, and then you're at the mercy of the scalpers, aren't you? And Lord knows, I've been there before. And so to me, the presentation of this is the best it's ever looked. And also, when you think about future-proofing yourself up for things, I can't see how anybody could make this better. So there you go. That's my review for House by the Cemetery. Essential pickup for me. I'm so glad I picked it up. Try and go to UHD, because you'll get it a bit cheaper than you will in other places. You'll get it for around about the £28 mark-ish, and that might save you a couple of quid. And if you act now, you might get this slipcover as well. Okay, so thanks for watching, and I plan to do lots more videos on the shelves, and I'm going to talk about all how I made the shelves, what's on the shelves, all that type of thing. They'll be quite big videos, but I will get around to them. I've had a lot of people there commenting about that, which I really appreciate. So you take care, and I'll see you in the next video.